email or inbox me somehow and let me know. We would like to highlight positive church news. I know there's been so much negativity in the church news arena. We want to certainly make certain that we don't forget to talk about all the good things that are happening in the church community with the people of God. Another segment is that I talked about before. I never got it off the ground, but it's a segment called "Really Church." There's some things that just go on in the church and you just want to just say "Really," and we're going to add that segment as well. And also, we're going to the segment what our former program name was Between the Headlines. Now that's going to be a segment where we'll talk about all the things that we had talked about previously, news and current events and social and political issues and that kind of thing. We'll talk about that in that segment. And then the last segment will be a segment I'm calling I'm Just Saying, where I will give my personal commentary on any topic that is of interest or trending in social media. So those are 7 segments we're going to talk about. I have to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Beacon Hall. Turning moments into memories. 609-965-4255 is the phone number. They're located at 243 St. Louis Avenue in Carpet City. Beacon Hall is a banquet hall facility. If you have a need for a banquet hall, please give them a call. Again, that's 609-965 Hall 4255. All right. And again, thank you to Abundant Life for sponsoring as well. All right. So I thank Kristen for being back with me. Thank you, Kristen. Hey. And we're going to see how this goes here, Kristen. Again, I've got guests on at 8:30. It's going to be exciting. I want to begin with this segment that I'm calling I'm Just Saying. All right. Has anyone else, noticed the alarming rate of shameful and embarrassing news coming out of the religious church community? Have you noticed? I just want to tell you what's going on. Is Christianity falling apart? What's going on? The news is always just getting more salacious and is getting more constant. But the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. But the Bible also says that there are some things that should not be named among you. And some of that kind of teaching and talk, old school kind of teaching and talk, we didn't always see the wisdom in it because I think we did not expect social media. And I don't know that there's anything that's happening or much happening that is new. It's just that social media, people are vicious in their usage of social media and how they tend to put things out there and bring embarrassment to people and also bring embarrassment to the church. But I want to look at some of the things that where the people of God are falling prey in some of these areas. And this segment, this is my segment to talk about some things in the way I want to talk about it. So people of God are falling prey into some areas of sin due to walking in the flesh, really, according to Ephesians 5 talks about it. And Ephesians 5, I think, puts this whole idea of walking in the flesh into 4 broad categories that I would like to classify as 4 categories. One is moral sins, the second is religious sins, third is social sins, and the fourth is what I would call intemperance, or people being lacking self-control. Moral sins, immorality, impurities, sensuality, pornography, adultery, and then there's religious sins, idolatry and sorcery. We see more and more people who are in the faith engaging in idolatry, exploring other false religions and so forth. And another area, social sins, enmities and envies or sins that we commit against other people or with other people. And then intemperance. So intemperance has to do with a lack of self-control. When we see that's a lack of self-control, it often involves drunkenness, it involves drug usage, it involves sexuality, it involves carousing, all the things that we have, of course, been for years just warned against. And this I'm not going to talk about this in a religious context. So just, for those of you who are afraid of religious talk, just hang in there. But I'm going to talk about it from a scriptural and biblical perspective. And I want to talk about it and talk about the benefits of living a life that is biblically taught and a living where it brings you victory. It brings you success in life. and the wisdom in walking circumspectly, the wisdom in walking more, having higher standards in your own personal life. And you just win with it. All right. So let me just for a minute read a scripture from Ephesians 5, the 3rd chapter. But fornication and uncleanness and covetousness, let it not be once named among you, as becometh saints. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man who is an idolater hath any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God. And it's talking about not walking in the flesh. And the flesh is human nature, natural desires, physical desires, the corrupted sinful nature. The flesh is the tendency that all of us have in us to operate in a way that is independent of God. And we center on ourselves. Unsaved people, of course, walk in the flesh all the time. But the people of God, those who are born again, have to be careful. We're instructed not to walk in the flesh. We are to have self-control. We are to, that's why there's some things we don't do. And we get into a lot of talk about, a lot of religious talk and debate and argument about things that, whether you should do it, is this a sin? Am I free to do this, free to do that? You're free to do whatever you want to do. But the scripture gives us wisdom in how to live and live a life that brings us success, and to live a life that brings us a more fulfilling life, a more prosperous life, a victorious life, a productive life, a fruitful life. And I want to talk about it from that perspective. There's some scripture. I'm going to reference scriptures, so just bear with me. I know it's not the best way to do radio, but I'm going to. Of course, it's necessary to be heard. But Galatians 5:19 says, "Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are those: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murderers, drunkenness, reveling, and such like." He says, and that reveling has to do with intemperance or lack of self-control. He says, "Of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law." And that's what God has called us to. And one other scripture I want to read. Now, how do we get to this place? I'm talking about all the shameful things we're hearing in the news, all the shameful things we're seeing on public media, social media, as it relates to the church. And I want to talk about how do we kind of get to this place, because the truth of the matter is pastors and preachers bear a lot of responsibility. I'm going to say it again. Pastors, leaders bear a lot of responsibility according to the scripture. And I'm going to show you in scripture where that is the case. It's not an attack on anyone. I'm a pastor. I share in the responsibility. It's not an attack, but it is intended to kind of give us first of all, to identify this problem that we're all witnessing, and we're all, perhaps if you're like me, you're alarmed by it. You're just horrified by some of the things that you see and you hear that's going on in the church community. It's just alarming. And but the church has to know that, first of all, the scripture says that the gates of hell shall not prevail. So the church is not going to die. The church is not on life support. The church will prevail against all of the attacks of the enemy. But for those of us now there'll be some casualties, however. So this is about giving us some understanding, hopefully, and some clarity, some things we can pray about in terms of how we are to approach it, and how to process some of the things that we see going on, and so that you are not yourself soon removed, or fooled, or discouraged. All right. So Ezekiel, I said that we pastors and church leaders and prophets bear responsibility. Some of the sharing responsibility, I should say. Ezekiel, the 34th chapter, verse number 1. Now you buckle your seats, because this is going to be hitting a little bit, little direct. It's going to be very direct. But Ezekiel 34, the first chapter says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flock? Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock. The disease have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have you bound up that which was broken, neither have you brought again that which was driven away, neither have ye sought that which was lost, but with force and with cruelty have ye ruled them." Verse 5 says, and they were scattered because there is no shepherd. And they became meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered. So because there was a lack of shepherding, and because the shepherds did not speak the things of God and give instruction and give guidance and give proper counsel and give the word that brings life, it said that caused the sheep to scatter. Sheep scatter when there is no food. So that caused the sheep to scatter. And when they scattered, the scripture says, they became prey for the beasts of the fields, prey for evil spirits, prey for the adversary. So the shepherds bear some responsibility. 2 Corinthians 10 and 3 says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, and having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. So we're not fighting against flesh and blood. It's a spiritual battle. And oftentimes because it involves and requires speaking truth, pastors tend to not want to go there. I get it. However, when we don't go there, the scripture says that it causes the sheep to scatter. And when the sheep scatter, they become prey. And then we begin to see the kinds of things we see. We begin to see people of God fall into the kind of misbehaviors that we see too much of today. And I'm telling you, this is a segment in my program called I'm Just Saying. I'm just saying that this is out of control, and it's not about gossiping about it. You know, many people just want to gossip about it, but it's not about gossiping about it. It's about really what should the church be doing to address some of these challenges, and what can we as pastors, and who has responsibility, and so forth. And I believe that we have to speak directly to it, because faith comes by hearing the word of God. Ezekiel also goes on to say they can't, if they're not hearing, how can they be fed? And the scripture says, how can they hear without a preacher? And how can he preach except he be sent, which takes us down another road, because we also tend to accept everything and anything and everyone in the gospel, violating many scriptural and biblical principles as relates to standards for people. And because we tend to, again, leaders or pastors or fathers tend to lay back and not give instruction, and not give counsel, not give correction, not train, and we have got people who are good people perhaps, but simply become themselves prey for the enemy, because the Bible says that a person who is a novice will can be lifted in pride, and at any rate ultimately be harmed. So pastors and preachers and leaders and fathers have a responsibility. And I'm saying to all of us that's where some of our challenges kind of arise. And that's why we see the kinds of things we see in social media. I don't know about you, but if you have been seeing some of the things that I've been seeing, oh my goodness, it is absolutely an embarrassment. And the sad thing is, it's an embarrassment, but it's not an embarrassment to the church per se. It's an embarrassment to the image of the church, because there are those who love God who are in the church, not really the problem. The problem is the church is silent oftentimes to correcting people who need to be corrected, and giving guidance, not to harm, but so that they can live. And people don't always know that they need truth to live. It hurts. You know, I was raised, Father's Day is coming along, and I think it's Sunday, right? Father's Day. Mm-hmm. And I was raised, my father was a pastor. My father was a good pastor. My father was a corrector. He was an instructor. He was a teacher. And he was very, 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 he was an awesome man of God. He was a father to me. And there's so many things that I would love to have engaged in, that my father, his teaching kept me from going out of bounds. And I live by those principles, and they have been, for me, a success. And I'm sure that those of you who have had instruction in your life, fathers, or some of you have had perhaps mothers who give you good instruction and good advice and good counsel, have saved you, have caused you to survive and to avoid some of the pitfalls of life. Instruction is necessary. So the things we're seeing, I'm saying and because I don't want anyone to think that I'm attacking people who we see who fall prey or victim. In some ways, I really feel for them, because the scripture says that oftentimes it is because they are not being fed. And when not fed, they scatter, the scripture says. And when they scatter, they are now prey for the enemy. And so I'm going to take a break right here. I have to take a break right here. And I've got to get a commercial in here, a couple of things in here. I'm going to come back and continue talking about this. Also, after the break, I have got some guests coming on at 8:30. It's going to be exciting. They're going to be really, really informative, powerful, exciting guests. It's going to be great. So hang in there. And I'm going to be giving away some tickets for an upcoming event that's going to take place. I'm going to talk more about it on the other side of this commercial. So those of you on radio, hang in there. Don't go anywhere. Back in about 2 minutes. So hang in there.
Do you have an event coming up and need a facility? Well, let me tell you about Atlantic County's newest banquet facility, Beacon Hall, located in the heart of Egg Harbor City, right off the White Horse Pike. Beacon Hall is a full-service banquet facility that is 5,000 square feet with an attached parking lot. Book your conferences, book signings, birthday parties, bridal showers, baby showers, weddings, repasts. No event is too big or too small. You can book your next event by calling us at 609-965-4255 or email us at bookbeaconhall@gmail.com. That's BOOKBEACONHALL@gmail.com. Try Beacon Hall, where we turn moments into cherished memories.
WEHA presents Up Close and Personal with stellar award-winning gospel artist and worshiper Moret Brown Clark, with special guest South Jersey's own Talasia Showell. The Princess of Praise and Worship, Moret Brown Clark. Friday, July 19th at Beacon Hall, 243 St. Louis Avenue, Egg Harbor City, New Jersey. Doors open at 6:30. Praise starts at 7 p.m. sharp. Tickets just $29.99. Available online at WeHaveGospel.com. That's WeHaveGospel.com. Or phone 609-641-8870. That's 609-641-8870. It's time to get up close and personal with the Princess of Praise and Worship, Moret Brown Clark at Beacon Hall. Powered by Gospel 88.7 WEHA. Spreading the gospel one song at a time. Don't miss it.
I want God. All I ever wanted was God. And I don't want to give him second best.
Cecilia Hawks. 10 years ago, my parents, Bill and Elaine Hawks, took a leap of faith and started the ministry of WEHA. I would like to take this time to tell you about WEHA's 10th anniversary banquet, happening Saturday, September 14th, 2019, hosted by the legendary Dr. Bobby Jones. And our keynote speaker is multi-Grammy and Stellar Award winner, Bishop Marvin L. Sack. You don't want to miss this event. Mark your calendar for Saturday, September 14th, 2019, WEHA's 10th anniversary banquet. For further information on the banquet or to place your ad in our souvenir ad book, please call the WEHA business office at 609-641-8870. WEHA is Christ-centered, community-focused, and listener-supported. Thank you, and God bless.
And welcome back to Bishop John Gandy Live. This is a rebranding of our program. I am now coming on, and the program name is Bishop John Gandy Live. Is that the name? Yes, that's the name. Bishop John Gandy Live. And so we are here every Thursday morning, again, between the hours of 8 and 9 a.m. I was on a long hiatus, and we're back, and we're ready to go and do what the Lord says to do. All right, we will be doing some things with, of course, public policy and and talking about some of the issues of the day and politics and all that sort of thing. We'll talk about all those things as well, but we're not going to focus solely on that. We never have, but I want to put even a greater emphasis on some things as it relates to the church, as it relates to the body of Christ, and talk about those other things in the same way that we have always done so, in the context from a perspective of Christians. So we'll continue to do that. All right. So real quickly, again, I've got guests at 8:30. So I'm going to try and do these things you should know real quick. Hopefully I'll get through them. Things that you should know. Well, maybe I won't. I'll wait and do that after we have our guests. If you have comments, you want to call in 609-641-8870. You can call. It's been that long. 8870-609-641-8870. Call in. I'd love to hear what you have to say on this topic as it relates to the things that are going on in the church world and how we are to process it, how we are to stand against things that are, of course, wrong, and hopefully we can help save people from falling prey to the enemy. All right, because we got to save people, and we're not here to bash people. We're not here to gloat and to wish anyone ill. We are here to see that the people of God are saved and are not harmed. If you have a comment, because some of you talk about it, you text about it, and you comment about it, and I'm giving an opportunity here to share your thoughts and your ideas and your beliefs about it right here on this program. You may agree, you may disagree with me completely, and you're welcome to do that. And I certainly welcome that as well. This is about having a good conversation. But I was talking about the fact that the church is getting such bad news. The church is getting such an embarrassing kind of news, particularly on social media. I wish that social media, well, I'm happy for it existing because I'm here right now with you, but I wish that social media was used a little differently as it relates to the people of God and the body of Christ. That's right. Someone says, yeah, repentance is absolutely the ultimate goal and aim, and that is the answer, and that correction. But in the meantime, we want to use this opportunity to talk, help people process it. Those who are simply standing on the sidelines and wondering what is going on with my church, what is going on with my faith, what is going on with the people of God. And many people are discouraged and distraught and are losing faith. And we need to remind people what the scripture says. First of all, there's nothing new under the sun. That's the first thing. I don't know. I wondered, maybe you can help me understand this. Are things happening that are different and worse and to a greater extent, or are they happening, or do we hear about it because of social media? Is it just that we're hearing about it so much more because of social media? And I'm not sure what the case is. I do know that the Bible talks about people in the last days becoming more and more wicked, and again, is all seems to be going in that direction without a doubt. And but I want us to be, to be encouraged as we go through this here and kind of live through it. We're going to be okay. On the other side of this, the church there's going to be a shakeup in the church, of course, and there has been and there is. And the church, I believe, is going to look differently than what we have known it to be. The only question is, what will it look like, and who will be ultimately standing? Hopefully, it will be the church will I believe will contract, or the body of Christ will become more. Those who are committed to the things of God will become more identifiable and more identified and more obvious. The light will continue to shine for those. And then listen, I don't care what people say. People sometimes, think when you think that you are better than thou and all of this. I don't buy into all of that. I know what the scripture says. And I know that there's a blessing and a rewards for living with high standards in your own personal life. So you have to live with high standards in your own personal life, and they bring to you reward. This is not about just being on some kind of religious soapbox, but this is about bringing life, speaking life into our community, speaking life into dead bones and that sort of thing. All right, I'm looking for a call from my guest. I guess any minute now, and if they hopefully they'll call in, and if they call in at exactly the right time, we're going to they're on. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me get my earphones on so I can hear them. Good morning.
Hey, preacher.
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I have on the line with me. Are you alone, sir, or do you have your brother with you?
It's just me.
All right. All right. You're fine. You'll do.
I'll do.
But I'm excited this morning to have one with me, a brother who was a great friend of mine who I've been knowing for many years, since childhood, in fact. He is
Childhood.
He's Bishop Earl Jenkins. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning, bro. So good to hear you.
Man, it's great to be here and great to be heard. And listen, I'm excited, man, to have you and to know that you guys are still doing things that you have been doing all your lives. And folk who may not know you and know your history and how deep it goes. Boy, you guys have been singing since you were. I remember the first time you guys were invited down, or you came down to visit with our church when you were in school still, maybe, I don't know, high school or junior high or whatever. And you and your brother came down and y'all sang, and y'all were singing like in such high octaves.
Like your wife.
Yeah. But you guys had a sound that you still have, and so we go way back. And in fact, my wife, you and Carl and my wife and some others sang together for many years.
Right.
Yeah.
Ernie Scott Singers.
Ernie Scott Singers, and that was awesome. And we lost Ernie Scott not too long ago. But thank you, man, for taking the time to come on. Something exciting is happening. Something exciting is happening. Let's talk about this program that you have got, this musical. It's called The Balance of Love. Now, I know there's an interesting backdrop to this story. So I want you to talk about it and just kind of share with folk how the Lord has blessed the efforts, your ministry, your years of service and working in this capacity, and talk about that. But I still want to talk more about you and some of the things that you have been doing down through the years, including McDonald's Gospel Fest, all that stuff. You have got a list of stuff you do. Go ahead, man. Talk.
Well, the balance of love is strange because about 4 years ago, some things that I was taught as a child, and I'm sure you can attest with me, after seeing the metamorphosis of your own personal life and how you've grown, and just watching you over the years, man. First, let me just say, bro, I'm so appreciative of knowing you, your family, and watching you with your children, your wife, your church, your siblings. You represent the true essence of fatherhood and manhood and the godly man. And I want to say that, bro, because you've been consistent, and that's the key to life itself. Consistency. All that comes to you as a result of your consistency, and even the Hawks. And watching them, this whole station, and I committed to supporting the station on a monthly basis because I believe in what you guys are doing, and I know what it takes to do what you do when people don't understand what you do and how much you put in and the resources that it takes to do it. So I just wanted to say that first and foremost.
Appreciate it.
But I'm just so appreciative of what the Lord has done over the last 4 years. I wrestled with something in my spirit regarding God, his identity. When the Bible speaks of him being a man that should not lie or won't lie. It's not that he's a man that won't lie, but he's not a man, therefore he can't lie. And that was resonating in my heart. We picture him as being us, therefore we relate him to have our same emotions and so forth and react like us. And so I went out on this binge just trying to figure out what is God. And John said God is love. He said it's an identity. God is love. Love is the spirit. God's the spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth, not in our flesh. Our flesh is fickle. So I said, so God is not fickle. We are fickle. And so we put him in that category. And I said, wait a minute, God is love. He's love. And if God is love and created everything, that means love is in everything, even though the enemy may have corrupted it, whether it be food, whether it be music, whether it be church, God is love. He's in it. And so we got to find him in it. And so with that said, the Lord put upon my heart to relate to God as that love and promote that God is love. And regardless of the decisions we make, his love can pick us up, chastens us, meaning correct us, put us back on track with new mercies every day and say, get up and try again. You messed up yesterday, I'm going to give you another chance to try again, because your decision has repercussions. And so when you have that repercussion, God is there to pick us up, would pick me up, turn me around, place my feet on solid ground. It's a cliche, but it's a reality.
It's a reality, yeah.
These new mercies. So I started looking at this, and I looked at one day I was singing to my wife in morning service, and I said, there's something that I want to say. Sometimes we're, and the whole thing, and it's like, Freddie Jackson sung that song. No, but it's words that I can relate to my wife. I can sing it or I can say it, but it's corrupt because Freddie sang it.
Right,
so
right,
it's
right.
Like, where does the line draw? I can sing a wedding song during a wedding, but I can't sing it to my wife. So it's like, okay, where's the line? 1 + 1 = 2. 4 - 2 = 2. What is the equation? It has to equate to the one thing, and that is love. So based on that context, my brother and I went out on this thing or this bench trying to let people see God for who He is and not our emotions. And so I asked my brother to work on something musically, and I did a year's teaching on referring to God as love, not substituting love for living kind of way.
Right,
not
right.
substituting love to say I can just do what I want to do and there's no repercussions. I want to make that clear.
But rather but what you're doing is you're really bringing clarity to what true love is.
True, exactly. And John, this what happened. This what really turned me. After Jesus sat down and the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the scribes were trying to trap him, even the disciples was like, wait a minute, we got all these commandments. The prophets of old commanded us to do this, 10 commandments. We got these commandments, the laws of the Pharisees and Sadducees. You can't do this on this day. Can't do it on that. And so before Jesus left, the Pharisees tried to trap him, and the disciples wanted to listen and see his response. And they said, well, Jesus, tell us, what is the greatest commandment? I mean, at all the commandments that was given, what is the greatest? Before you leave here, what is the greatest? Now, we as pastors would say, save the souls, win people, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, help this, help that. We would say that. But Jesus didn't say that. He didn't say feed the hungry. He didn't say go to the hedges and highways. He didn't say none of that. He said the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. And he said, and by the way, the second one is to love your neighbor as yourself. And God is our first neighbor because we created in His image, created in His image and His likeness, meaning that we came out of God. He's next to us. So if we we love God the way we love ourselves, then we are to demonstrate the characteristics of God. So that means that if I wake up every morning with the spirit of love, then I'm going to want to feed the hungry. I'm going to want to clothe the naked. I'm going to want to win folks to Christ. I'm going to want to do the things that God would do if we have the mind of Christ. Let this mind be in you that's also in Christ Jesus. What's in Christ Jesus? Christos, God's anointing working in the man to fulfill God's purpose in the earth. So the premise of life is love. If I embrace love in everything, I'll be all right.
Bishop, you're talking good, man, because I was talking just before this segment, I was talking about some of the challenges that we see people experiencing and people falling prey and victim to a lot of the device of the enemy. And I was saying that, in some ways, the church and particularly pastors and leaders have to share in the responsibility because we're commissioned to do this and to share this gospel, this message of love that restores people. And it's not about harming people. It's about giving them the word and instruction and correction and direction that gives them life.
Right. Man, that's good. Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
When we condemn people, we shut off restoration. Condemn means no more.
Yeah.
That's why Jesus didn't condemn anyone. He corrected them.
That's right.
In other words, I'm not going to cut you off because of this. I'm going to give you another chance to get up. Go sin no more.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I'm going to clean you up. I'm going to let others that try to stone you recognize they're wrong, too, in some capacity. But the key thing here is I love you enough not to just doom you, but let you know that I love you and get up and try again.
Well, if you're going to condemn me and doom me, then you can't love me.
You can't love me. That's not love. So my brother said, well, listen, we do music. Like you said, we've been doing this all our lives. So let us, here's the truth, Bishop, here's the truth. There's songs that relate to relationship. There's songs that relate to God, which is all songs if you do it the right way. There's songs that relate to children. There's songs that relate to different perspectives if they're done in the right place. So what we've done is, through the balance of love, we've taken old songs, whether it be gospel, jazz, those old ballads, throwback songs, and we found a way to demonstrate God's love and all that by creating different scenes in this production to show God in relationships, to show God in church, to show God in breakups. Breakup is hard to do. To show God in all the different genres of music, we're going to show God's love and call it the balance of love.
Wow.
So when people came, to our last production, we did the balance of love here at our church. We did it for 4 months, once a month for 4 months. We had over 6,000 people to come through. White, black,
wow,
different ethnicities come through. It was just crazy because people finally got a chance to see not so much religion,
Right.
but love.
Right.
You know, and they were really taken by that. And so when we presented to Harrah's, they were like, they loved it. They saw the video. They said, you know, but we want to take a chance with this. And so then they asked us to come down, and so that's why we're on June 22nd going to be there. And I promise you, it's going to be an event that is really going to expose a lot of questions.
So we didn't mention that where it's going to. Let me make this quick announcement because we didn't talk about this yet. This is a musical. It's called The Balance of Love, the musical journey, written and directed by Carl Jenkins, bringing you Broadway. It's going to be Saturday, June 22nd, at 7 p.m. at Harrah's in Atlantic City. Tickets are $30, $40, and $50 for VIP tickets, and I encourage you to make it your business to get your tickets right now. How do they get tickets, brother Bishop Earl? How do they get tickets?
Ticketmaster or Harrah's box office, or those two, and then we got some giveaways for you guys to give away.
Yes.
Today and and so
we're gonna give away some tickets.
VIP.
We're gonna do that right now. You say what now?
Giveaways are VIP seats.
Now this is big, y'all. Y'all gotta listen to this. Usually giveaways are like the nosebleed section.
Yeah.
These are VIP giveaway tickets that you can have if you call in right now. 609 645 88. I'm sorry, 609 641 8870. 609 641 8870 for your free VIP tickets to see The Balance of Love. It's going to be June 22nd at Harrah's in Atlantic City. So if you want to go to see this play, call in right now, 609-641-8870 for your free tickets. So Bishop, this is really some exciting stuff. Let me take a quick break. Can you hang on there for a minute? I gotta take a break right here. Hang in there. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna give away these tickets to this exciting play. All right, back in 2 minutes. Hang in there.
WEHA presents Up Close and Personal with stellar award-winning gospel artist and worshiper Moret Brown Clark with special guest South Jersey's own Talacia Showell. The Princess of Praise and Worship, Moret Brown Clark. Friday, July 19th at Beacon Hall, 243 St. Louis Avenue, Egg Harbor City, New Jersey. Doors open at 6:30. Praise starts at 7 p.m. sharp. Tickets just $29.99. Available online at WeHaveGospel.com. That's WeHaveGospel.com. Or phone 609-641-8870. That's 609-641-8870. It's time to get up close and personal with the Princess of Praise and Worship, Moret Brown Clark at Beacon Hall. Powered by Gospel 88.7 WEHA. Spreading the gospel one song at a time. Don't miss it.
I want God. All I ever wanted was God. And I don't want to give him second best.
I'm George C.
Hi, I'm Professor J.
You know why I like listening to gospel on the radio? It's easy. You turn it on, turn up the volume, and you have gospel.
Listening in the car is cool, I guess, but I'm more into listening from my computer. I just type in the website, and I have gospel.
So whether you listen to gospel on the radio, on 88.7 FM, WEHA,
Or on your computer on www.wehavegospel.com.
we have gospel.
So check out our new website, wehavegospel.com.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food than we know what to do with in this country, yet 17 million kids in America are struggling with hunger. Makes no sense. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Hey, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America in your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to Bishop John Gandy Live. I have a new program, Bishop Jenkins, and the name is changed, so I have to remember the name. I'm used to saying the old name, but anyway, we're back with Bishop John Gandy Live, and we do have some tickets to give away. We've got some folk on the line. We're going to see if we can give away a ticket, a VIP ticket to see The Balance of Love, the musical journey. Hello, who's on the air? Hello. Are they calling back? Okay, we got some. All right, we have a new a new system. All right. So when we get them on, Kristen, let me know. So Bishop, so we're going to give away 2 tickets. You ready? Okay. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am great. I'm so glad to be listening in this morning. I love WEHA. I just absolutely have nothing but respect and high regards for Deacon Hawks and his wife, and I'm glad to be on the phone this morning.
Excellent. Now, who is calling?
My name is Lindell, a friend of WEHA, Deacon Hawks and his lovely wife.
Thank you, Lindell. So, Lindell, are you calling in for the 2 tickets to see this the musical, The Balance of Love?
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited.
All right. Well, we'll have to give you a test real quick first. You know, we got to know that you can pass the test.
Oh, Lord.
It's going to be easy, Lindell. Who is my guest this morning?
Okay. Bishop. Oh, God, help me. I did turn in late. Does Bishop count?
Go ahead, Lindell. You're on the right track. Bishop, let me help you out. Bishop Earl Jenkins.
Jenkins. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll bring some more for the Bishop.
Yeah, I just kept calling him Bishop. Okay, so you win these tickets, Lindell. I'm going to put you on hold. Want to say anything else before I let you go? But I'm going to put you on hold.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I have been immensely blessed by this station and all of the DJs, as well as yourself. Very informative. And I would just encourage all of the listeners to continue to support WEHA, Deacon Hawks and his wife's vision, because 10 years strong and moving.
Amen. Thank you so much. I'm going to put you on hold, and Kristen is going to take your information. Congratulations.
Thank you, and God bless.
All right. I'll be looking at you from the nosebleed sections, but congratulations.
Thank you again.
All right. All right. So, Bishop, we're talking to Bishop Earl Jenkins. He's my guest this morning. He and his brother Carl Jenkins, they are known as the Jenkins Brothers, and they have been singing for many, 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 many years. In fact, my wife, Patricia Gandy, had sang with them years ago in the group together with the Ernie Scott Singers, and they've got a tremendous history, and not just singing. Earl, you and your brother also won the McDonald's Gospel Fest. You hosted the McDonald's Gospel Fest in New York for many, many years on Madison Square Garden, and all kinds of other things. What other kinds of things have you done musically, or in this Christian entertainment?
Well, we were Broadway babies, you know. Grew up on Broadway.
Another call?
Those different
Bishop, hold one second. Bishop, hold one second before you go. Let me just take. I've got a couple other callers on the line. Good morning, caller. How are you? Good morning, caller. All right, I've got several callers on the line, and I take the next one, Kristen. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Nothing yet. I got to call back.
All right, call back. Okay, call back. All right, I'm sorry, Bishop. Yeah, I was asking you to talk about some things that you have done, because you've got a tremendous resume.
Yep, and as kids, we were Broadway babies, and did a lot of stuff with The Wiz, off Broadway, on Broadway kind of thing. And so throughout that history, and that comes to Ernest Scott. He took us all over the country. We along with your wife. In fact, she was before us. She was a generation before us. And then one.
Wait a minute, she's not a generation. She's not a generation before you. She's a couple of days before you.
Not a generation. A singing generation. Let's put it that way. She was only a year older than us. So Ernest Scott singing, he would take the prime performers in the city and tour with them yearly. So she was a year before us, and we got a chance to sing with them. So he brought us to like different productions and Broadways and shows and different things like that. And from there, we just was reared up in that industry, and we won McDonald's Gospel Fest. Make a long story short, and then from there we got a recording contract with Savoy Records, and then from there we had the hit song "What a Friend" and "He Set Me Free." That enabled us to travel the country and spread the gospel that way. And from there, we started.
Okay.
From there, the church was birthed out of that.
Yeah. Well, you guys are amazing. And before we go, we're going to announce again the play and how people can get tickets and attend this musical. But I also want you to talk before we leave briefly about brotherhood, because you and your brother have got an amazing relationship. I want you to talk about that briefly. But before you do, we've got another call on the line. Good morning, caller. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Your name, please. First name.
Valerie Davis.
Hey, Valerie Davis. How are you?
I'm well.
All right. Valerie Davis. Bishop, do we have more tickets to give away? Bishop Jenkins? Well, I guess we can't have him on with the caller. Is that how that works? Bishop, do we have more tickets to give away?
Yeah.
Oh, we do. Okay. Valerie Davis.
Yeah.
Are you calling for the
Showell Davis, yes.
Valerie Showell Davis? And you know Bishop Earl Jenkins very well.
Oh, yes, I do. We went to school together.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
That's true.
So, Valerie, are you calling for tickets?
Yes, I am, for the VIP ticket.
Well, you have to answer a question. This is going to be tougher for you because you know a little bit more. And I'm going to ask you a tough question. You have to answer this question. Okay. What is the name of Bishop Earl Jenkins' church that he pastors?
His church?
Okay, Val.
I know the name of his brother.
What city is the church in? How about that?
It's in Trenton, or would you say Hamilton?
Yep. Close enough.
Close enough. Close enough. You get 2 tickets.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold, and Kristen's going to take your information, all right?
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, Bishop.
Thank you. You too, Val. All right, God bless. Hey, Bishop, again, I want you to talk briefly about relationship, brotherhood, because I think that much of what people are experiencing, and we see a lot of misbehavior because families and people are just living dysfunctional lives, and I don't mean that to be critical, but we just are living dysfunctional lives. Talk for a minute about just about 30 seconds or so about how it is that you and your brother have been able to maintain a tremendously close relationship that you built businesses and ministry around. Talk about that for a minute.
My mom trained us as children to keep each other's back, watch each other's back, and to the point where if my chore was to clean the bathroom, his chore was to clean the walls. If his chores were not correct, she would get us both because she said, you're supposed to cover each other's back. And so through that training, not just my brother and I, but my sisters as well, it helped us cover each other. So we just built a close-knitted relationship out of that, and then we realized we needed each other. And then we were able to separate each other's responsibility and stay in each other's lane. My position is to do business. His position is to perform the guts of it. So I'm music school. I handle all the business. He develops the curriculum for the music. I handle all the business, marketing, and that kind of thing. So we know each other's lane, even in production. Mine was to teach it from a concept. His was to develop the music side of it. And we stay in each other's lane. So whatever he decides to do musically, I agree, and I roll. Even though I'm alpha, he's alpha. Even though we both are musically inclined, I yield to that, and he yields to my decision as it relates to business. So if I say we're going to take this down the road, we're going on the road. He don't say, well, I don't want to. Nope, we're going on the road. If I say we're not going to do it this way, he said, okay. If I say, Carl, let's do this song, he's like, I ain't doing that. I said, okay, we're not doing that song. So we know each other's lane, and we're able to work together closely because we respect each other's position and professionalism. Wow,
that's awesome. And I hope that people were able to really to who heard that can just capture what you were saying. It's about agreement, understanding.
Exactly.
It's about loving each other, respecting each other, and commitment.
That's it.
Commitment in a relationship, and that's outstanding. My guest again this morning is Bishop Earl Jenkins. He is one of the what did you the star or the lead roles in the balance. How should I say that, Earl?
Yeah, just producers of the Balance of Love.
Okay, so one of the producers of The Balance of Love. It's a musical that's going to be on Saturday, June 22nd at Harrah's in Atlantic City, and the doors open at 7 p.m. And if you'd like to get tickets to this event, the prices are $30, $40, and $50 for VIP seating. And if you want to get a ticket, you can call Harris Box Office or Ticketmaster for your tickets. And I encourage you to go and get them now. He talked about it's about love. It's about love in a lot of ways. Now, some of y'all going to like this because it gets you get all those love songs that you've been loving. The brothers they're going to make you understand. They're going to put it. See if I'm saying this right. They're going to present them in the proper context. They're going to present
Correct.
love in the proper context because, and I'm a believer in this, Pastor Bishop Earl. I don't believe that we should abandon things that the world has confiscated or tried to take ownership to that belong to their principles that are scriptural and biblical principles that God gave to us.
That's right.
And because the world takes it and perverts it, doesn't mean that we should abandon it.
Right.
So
That's
this
exactly what happened.
Yeah. So this musical is a series of songs and drama that will talk about love and how to show love in so many different situations in life. And and I just can't wait to see it, brother. I'm looking forward to it. And listen, man, again, I congratulate you on all of your accomplishments. This being the latest of them. And I pray that it gets much success. We need someone to pick it up and take it on to Broadway or take it on to, that it gets on the road.
And by the way, you're not going to be sitting in the nosebleed. We got your VIP tickets, and your family, just let me know.
Okay.
You're going to sit in the nosebleed.
Thank you, sir.
We're giving away 10. We're giving away 10 tickets.
10 tickets.
We got 5 cents.
Okay, so real quick, the phone was ringing, but we didn't. We were telling people what I think. I don't know what Kristen was telling people. Kristen was telling people the untruth. She was telling them we had no more tickets.
That's not what happened. We actually that's not what happened.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, listen,
I'm just kidding.
For this radio station.
So we've got if you want a ticket and there's still time, give me a call 609-641-8870, and we do have more tickets to give away. VIP seats. Call now. I know some of you have called in before. Call back. And we do have these tickets for you. We want to get them to you. We want you to enjoy this amazing musical. It's going to be at Harrah's, and it's going to be a good night out, just a good fun night out. You get to enjoy a great gospel musical, and it's just going to be a blessing. I know it's not marketed as a gospel musical, Bishop Earl, but really, again, we're gonna take claim to what God has given to us.
That's it. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So what can people expect again, real quickly, from your perspective?
They can expect to experience the love of God through the different genres of music, and they will leave out of their understanding the true essence of God's love. And I need to say this, and we said this last time. One of the moving experiences we had with this production is we had an atheist come. And a friend brought him, and then when the show was over, he came to us and said he felt something he never felt before. Finally, he got a chance to sense the presence of God in his circle, and he ended up bringing his family the next show. He said, all my years, I never felt what I felt because I felt balance here. And that was my sign right there. That was our sign that God stamped this. And to watch it, when we're looking at audience, see all the different colors, the different ethnicities, people come from everywhere to experience God's love, not just the Baptists, not just the Pentecostal, not just the non-anonymous, but every walk of life. My golf buddies came. They were moved. They're coming down there. These are white people that I'm very good friends with, but I don't force them to church, but this was their way to get to church. And now 2 of them actually joined our church.
Wow, okay.
As a result of this play. They said, wow, it's not religious, but it's spiritual, and it points to God.
Wow.
And they loved it.
Wow.
So that's our goal.
Well, I know it's going to be great because I have, of course, seen you guys in concert and in action on many occasions, and as always, you always deliver. So we certainly appreciate your ministry, and not only that, but Bishop Jenkins is also a pastor. Bishop, you want to talk for a minute about your church and where your church is, and how people can visit or contact your ministry?
Okay, yep, we are True Love Center in Hamilton, New Jersey. TrueLoveCenter.net. If you can't attend on Sunday, you can log in. We're kind of animated. We're kind of different. We come out the box a little bit. Our church is designed to allow you not to hear but to see.
Mm.
So we've enlarged the platform, and we've done some things to illuminate our presence, so God's presence be known. So it's a different setting. It's very traditional, but at the same time, we try to bring clarity in the minds of people to see God for who He is. And so if you ever come on by 2630 South Broad Street, Hamilton, New Jersey, or log on to truelovecenter.net, and we're there.
Excellent, Bishop.
23 years.
Thank you so much, man. Listen, I will see you on the 22nd, if not sooner. And wishing you great success, all right?
I appreciate it, man. Love you guys.
Love
Thank
you too,
so
man.
much.
All right, God bless. All right, so Balance of Love, June 22nd at 7 p.m. at Harrah's in Atlantic City. Get your tickets, Ticketmaster or Harrah's box office. $30, $40, or $50 for VIP seating. By the way, I'm wearing this shirt here. This shirt says "No Limits." And if you'd like to get a copy of, you'd like to get one of these shirts, let me know, inbox me, whatever, and we can make them available to you. We're going to have some other shirts as well that we'll talk about Bishop John Gandy Live. Y'all have to help me out here. So those of you on radio, thank you for tuning in, and we're going to check out and appreciate you so very, very much for being there. And those of you on Facebook Live, thank you for being there as well. And I was talking about, some things earlier that I don't want to lose. Talking about how we have to reclaim and save people who are and have perhaps fallen prey to the enemy because for a lot of reasons. And I'm talking about it in a biblical context and how we can help. First of all, how we can save the people of God so that you are encouraged and know that all is not lost. The church shall not fall, it ain't fallen apart. The gates of hell shall not prevail against it. There's nothing new under the sun. It's about, I believe, a reshaping, a reforming, a redefining of the body, and some things just being, I believe, just shaking out because there's some things that just don't belong. That just don't belong, and they're being shaken out. And but it's for the good. And God, even the chastisement that we experience is for our good. So God is not trying to kill any of us; He's trying to save all of us. And so we're thankful for that. All right, so, and did I already wrap it up on radio? Oh, I thought I was off radio.
I need an official close.
Oh, okay, an official close. All right, those of you on WEHA, thank you for being there on this morning, and thank Abundant Life Worship Center Church that I pastor at 32 New York Avenue in Egg Harbor City for sponsoring the program. Also, Beacon Hall, located at 243 St. Louis Avenue in Egg Harbor City, and also Hawks Family Businesses for sponsoring today's program. All right, hopefully we'll see you back here again the same time on next week. Next Thursday, we're back every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. with Bishop John Gandy Live. God bless. Have a great day.
Gospel 88.7 WEHA. It's more than